Hello, everyone, and I want to talk about coaching real quick. I want to talk about coaching. Now, what am I referring to exactly? I'm talking about like coaching as in you're helping someone in a middle of a match. Like, well, not really exactly in the middle of a match. Like, let's say an example, you're at a tournament, or better yet, for example, you're at Evo, and mid-game, someone like, well, not really mid-game, but after the set is over, you lost the set, and a helper, pretty much a coach, your coach comes in and while you guys are taking a break and tells you something specifically in that match of your opponent that you're fighting against. Oh, like this move is duckable. It looks like a mid, but it's actually a high. Or it's, I don't know, like you can literally anything they can tell you. Something that's minus 15 on block, it's launch punishable, something like that. Do we think that that should be banned? Should this be banned? Should coaching just not be available at all in like tournaments? And if you want my honest opinion about this whole thing, yes, ban coaching. The reason why I'm saying that is because, well, you gotta think of it this way. It's the equivalent to, okay, it's like sports. You have to know what you're doing. Like, it's like football. You have to know what your position is, how is your role going to affect the team, all right? Now, this is obviously, I can't really compare this with fighting games, obviously, because fighting games are a one-on-one thing. It's not a team-based, unless you're doing a team-based, unless the fighting game is a team-based, game. But that's the thing, it's usually a one-on-one type of situation, okay? You can't just simply fucking have like an extra person like, oh, back me up. No, unless you're 2x KO. But it's not 2x KO. This is Tekken. Or that doesn't even go for just Tekken. It also goes for Street Fighter. Okay, if you don't know if a stand HK, a standing heavy kick, is duckable, look, it's best to know that. Look, if because someone didn't lab that out, that's more of like on the player at the same time. Don't get me wrong, coaching is useful, but I feel like if you were to coach someone, why not coach them when they're not when the tournament's not even like going on, like before, like in advance. Like if you need someone to help you out, okay, cool, but just not during the tournament. Why can't that just be like, literally anywhere before that? You know what I mean? Like, because I've seen this. The reason why I'm talking about it is because I've seen this all over the internet. That apparently it like mid-game breaks take a total of 18 minutes. It's like for Tekken CEO, like for top 8, right? It takes like a total of 18 minutes of like a break, and then that specific time of coaching that's taken place. Oh, I accidentally paused. It takes 8 minutes and 36 seconds. It takes that long. I'm just like, okay, why? I get it. You need to help someone, but come on. Look, if tournaments are banned, not tournaments, coaching, my bad. If coaching is completely banned, that doesn't go for just Tekken, but for Street Fighter and that other game, Mortal Kombat 1, which I'm not even gonna talk about that game. Anyway, coaching is banned. I mean, look, that gives you the drive, that gives the player to actually motivate themselves to literally go into training mode and actually like practice. And that's kind of the whole point. That's literally the whole point. Like if I don't know certain moves, that I can actually launch punish, like look at this. I didn't launch punish this move, but I did June's up forward 1-1 because it was it's minus. It's very negative. It's minus 14 on block. And what was it called? Stuff like that, people need to figure that out. Like if you're gonna enter a tournament, right? And I'm not saying like your Arslan Ash or your Knee, your Knuckle, dude. I'm bringing up a bunch of Street Fighter and Tekken players. Punk, Chris Tartarian, Mana RD. You get the point. You get what I'm trying to say. If you're not one of those guys that, that obviously play this for a living and you obviously want to go to a tourney, you literally have to literally play the game a lot. You have to understand a lot. You have to fight at top level pretty much. You have to literally fight at top level because there's gonna be a bunch of like veterans that are playing both Street Fighter and Tekken heavily. And I know frame data isn't necessary, but trust me, learning it, oh my god, it helps you the fuck out. Like little things, it's just little things. It could be something that's jab punishable. Like, I don't know, something like something's -10, you can jab punish, or better yet, get like a little bit of good damage off of it, you know? Or if it's something like in Tekken terms, like if something is -15 on block, you can launch punish that shit. Like, for example, what I would do, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people do this as a Brian main, I usually do what's it called? Forward neutral back 2. That's what I usually do, which is jet uppercut. And then for June, I need to start doing this more on my June, her forward 2 as a launcher, because I've been so used to up forward 1-1, despite the fact that it's -14 on block, but still, stuff like that makes a big difference. It literally will help you out in tourneys, okay? Don't get me wrong. Coaching, it's not a bad thing. It really isn't, okay? It's not a bad thing. It's only a bad thing when it's literally at a tourney. That's like I said. If it's anywhere before that, I don't think it really matters. If it's like, okay, Evo's next year. Evo is August 1st of 2025, right? To the 3rd. It's literally fine to have a coach help you out to prepare for that event since it's a year out. It's a year out. You have like enough time. You have literally a fucking year to get everything prepared. Okay? That's how it pretty much works, obviously. And given the fact that that's a year, yeah, like if you want to be exactly how long that is, that pretty much is 338 days at the time of me recording this video. That's a lot of time to prepare for an event, I won't lie. And obviously throughout that time, there's going to be patches among the fighting games. So who knows? Who knows what the future might hold? You see what I did here? I did 1+2 instead of forward 2. If I did forward 2, it would have been a launch punish. But I'm so used to doing 1+2 as like my punish sometimes. It's a heat engager, so I got plus frames. But my point is, it's more of just getting used to doing a different punish than doing a normal punish to get more damage out of it. So yeah, it all comes down to it. It all comes down to your knowledge. Like, what could be the person's mind? What are they trying to do in the middle of the match? Because if coaching is, you know, taking place, you're really fighting two people if you think about it. If a coach is coming in the break, right? Now you're thinking, okay, now I have to worry about another mind. I wonder what this coach is thinking to help out this player. So now you're not really focusing on your opponent. Now you're focusing on two rather than one, which makes it a little, how do you say, both distracting and also a little bit, you know, inconvenient. Distracting because, you know, another person's in the way, and inconvenient is because, well, you gotta think of it this way. If someone doesn't have a coach, but the other opponent does, then that kind of makes it, you know, a little bit unfair there, you know what I mean? You can make the argument that, yes, coaching is helpful mid-game. Yes, it is. But you have to also think of the spectators, you know? There's people that pay top dollar to come to, like, your CEOs, your Evos, your combo breakers, versus fighting, all that shit, right? So you gotta think that some people don't want their time wasted, okay? And then you got, like, because the event takes the whole fucking weekend, right? And when you have top 8, right, that goes on Sunday, that takes a fucking long time. Top 8 takes like 3 hours. Most of top 8's like what, take 3 hours, 2.5? It takes a fucking while. And I feel like we can dial that down if we can just remove coaching altogether. All right, if we do that, that might change the nature of like the match of the fucking tourney. Because I'm not no TO, I'm not no tournament organizer that handles this shit. I'm not no Alex Trebali or anything, but still, you gotta really think about, hey, what shall we do to make shall we literally fucking cancel the coaching. But at the same time, it's not just entirely the tournament organizers, because, you know, it's not their game. Also, you also got to think this is like Tekken. So you got to think about, like, okay, Harada and Murray have to also come in and have a say in this too, because it is their game after all. Then you also got, you just got so much to handle. I feel like they have to set certain rules for it, and we're already like, what, almost done with Tekken World Tour? If I'm thinking about it, I think the last event is on October 5th, I think. I think so, yeah. It's on October, I think it's on October 5th or some shit like that. It's in Thailand, if I'm right. And then, yeah, I feel like they got to implement some type of rules for next year. I don't know. The same can be said if you want to do like with Street Fighter 2 as well. But I feel like Street Fighter, in terms of Street Fighter, you don't really see it as much. I mean, I think there's still, I haven't really checked too much on coaching on that, because I know it happens a lot in Tekken. Surprisingly happens in Mortal Kombat, I think. Yeah, it happens in Mortal Kombat. I remember one time I saw it in Combo Breaker that someone interrupted a set. It was a Johnny Cage mirror or some shit like that, yeah. I think it happens in Street Fighter. I'm not too sure. Quote me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong about that. To be honest, because I've seen like professional gameplay. It's just like I try to keep up with it, to be honest. It's fucking hard to sometimes when there's so many goddamn events. But yeah, it's stressful. I won't lie. The games are hard. The games are difficult sometimes, but relatively they're easier now. So to conclude this video, I want to ask you, the viewers that are watching this video, what do you guys think about coaching? Do you guys think it's a bit unfair? Should it be banned? Because, you know, I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts, because I could go on and talk about this all day with y'all, but at the end of the day, it's not really up to us. We can state our opinions on what we think is best, but then again, we are not the TOs. We're not the tournament organizers that handle this shit, and also, more importantly, we're not the devs. You know what I mean? We're just the gamers. We're just the fighting game players that play online. What's it called? The small percentage that actually go to tourneys or your locals. Yeah, it's not entirely up to us. So state your guys' opinions, because honestly, like I said before, I feel like it should be, you know, it should be banned, because it is. Well, you can state it if it's cheating or not, or an unfair advantage, since you're kind of pretty much battling in a weird way. Basically, if the coach is kind of helping out, you're pretty much, the coach is kind of, you know, giving an assist feature to your opponent. You pretty much, the fucking coach is pretty much playing the game at that point, if you really think about it. I know it's a weird dynamic to think about, but it's kind of what it is. It sounds weird, but it's the fact. State your guys' opinion, and I would like to know, hey, if you guys don't think it is, then okay, cool. You know, it's your guys' opinion. That's all cool. You know, if you guys think it should be banned, there's probably like a really settling argument that could take place. So, I don't know. It's not, like I said, it's not up to us, but it is an interesting like conversation to start, really. So, I don't know. I can go on for days about it, but I just wonder how, like, if this is actually, if for coaching to be banned, really, if it really does get banned, then I guess, you know, top 8 won't take as long anymore, and, you know, the pros of it, well, if you think about it, the cons really are mainly like the pro players won't be able to, like, they'll have like a harder time, really, I guess. Yeah, like if someone's just in that chair, just like, fuck, I can't rely on my coach anymore, because they're so used to it. You know what I mean? They're so used to it. They're so used to like always having that one person being like, hey, this is launch punishable. 1-2, 1-2-2 is launch punishable, even though it's a jab. But I'm just saying that as an example. It's jab punishable or some shit. Or, I don't know, forward 4-1 for Brian Fury is -13. Up forward 1-1 for June is also minus. it's minus 14. So stuff like that kind of makes it a little bit difficult for the tournament players, but that's where they motivate them to actually learn the game and go to training mode. That's pretty much how it is. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.